Good morning, Stampers. It's Friday, 11 a.m. That means a Facebook Live, a live crafting show with me. I'm happy to be here today with you. Got a busy weekend ahead. I'm just gonna update my computer screen here. We'll let a few people log in. And be sure to say hi when you get here so that I know that you're joining us. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay, now I should be able to see your comments. Hey Barb, good morning. How are you this morning? Good morning, Peggy. Yes, I'm wearing buffalo check today, that's right. I love this pattern. Okay, so I'm excited to be here today with you as we get nearer to Christmas. I am so far behind. Normally by this time every year, my cards are out and my Christmas shopping's done. Most of my wrapping is done. And baking's not usually done yet, but I'm so far behind. My cards haven't gone out yet. They're made, but they haven't gone out yet. So I apologize if you get them late. And we've got a big Christmas party, Marcel's work Christmas party here tomorrow. So there's so much to do for that. So, but I didn't want to miss out on a Friday Facebook Live. So I've got a couple really cute, quick projects to share with you today. First up, like we do every week, is I'm going to draw for last week's winners. So if you commented or shared this post, you got entries to win the projects from last week, which were these two thank you cards. So I've got everybody's name in the bucket, and Shirley's the winner, and I will see Shirley on Thursday for my last class before the Christmas holidays. So I will give them to you then, Shirley, if you're watching. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I'm gonna flip the camera around and we'll get started. Good morning, Peggy. Okay, let's see how well lined up that is. Here's a little peek at the two projects that we're going to do today. I gotta figure out how you can zoom in when you do this. Okay, that's good. All right, so like I said, these are the two projects that we're doing today. I'm going to give you a bit of details on what we're using. So I'll set those aside for a minute. Okay, so we are using the First Frost suite of products from the holiday catalog. And remember last week, if you watched last week, then I mentioned that I'm kind of done with my Christmas crafting. I'm not doing a ton more. There might be a few little tags that I need to make for gifts, but apart from that, I'm kind of steering away from Christmas. There is one holiday thing that we're making today, and I'll share a little bit more about that as we get into that. But this is a beautiful bundle that can be used all year round. So you can turn it into Christmas projects, but you can also use it year round because it isn't necessarily Christmassy. All right, it's got some beautiful DSP that coordinates with it, which has a beautiful shimmer to it. I've only got tiny little scraps. I've used almost an entire package. Actually, where's my package? And I'll show you what I've left. This is all I have left of this package of DSP. It's absolutely stunning. And every piece, all the patterns, both sides have this shimmer to it. I don't know if you guys can see that shimmer. Let's turn on the light. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but every piece, in many of our specialty DSPs, it's usually one or two patterns that have, good morning, Christine, that have something special about it. So you might get a couple papers that have that shimmer to it. But this one is every paper, both sides are shimmery. And unfortunately, it will be retiring with this holiday catalog. So it won't be available after this catalog is done, and it's only available while supplies last. So this is it here on page 36, 37. This is the suite, the Frosted Floral Suite. This is the DSP right here. This bundle is carrying over in the next catalog, so it will be available. It's at the back of the Occasions catalog. The one thing that I want to point out though is it will not be available as a bundle, so you won't be able to save the 10%. So our bundles are always just offered in the first publication at a bundle offering at 10% off. And then if they do carry over, they split up into two different product codes, so you don't save the 10%. So if you're interested in the bundle, this is it. This is the number, actually, sorry, right here, that you want to use. It's available in wood mount or clear mount. And just to give you a little heads up, in the Occasions catalog, there's another stamp set that's coming out that coordinates with these framelits. I love it when Stampin' Up does that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get crafting. So for those of you who've just joined us, these are the two projects that we're going to make. So this sweet little nugget holder, it's just got some little chocolates in there. And I gave these to my card class members who attended last night and my Stamp Club members as a little thank you for participating in the monthly class. And then this little pillow box we're going to make as well. So this one is Christmas themed, and that's because I gave it to them as like a little Christmas gift. And then this one you can use year round, and these pillow boxes are amazing. They're the perfect size to tuck a gift card inside. And you can tuck little treats inside there as well. So wouldn't that be beautiful to put a wedding gift card in? But you can use it for birthdays, you can use it for anniversaries, you can use it for pretty much anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with this one. And what I'm using is I'm using our 2x8 cello bags. They come in a package of 50, I believe. Yes, there's 50 in a package, so you'll get a ton of them. And let me grab my pieces out here. Okay. So what I've done is I've taken my bag. It starts out at 2x8, and I've cut the side that has the opening down to 5 inches. So it's 2 inches by 5 inches. And then I'm going to take a piece of DSP. So this is my largest piece of DSP that I have left of this paper. And I'm going to cut it down to 1 7/8 of an inch by 7 inches. Actually, let's do it this way first. Okay, so 7 inches by 1 7/8. So even though the bag is 2 inches wide, I'm trimming it a little bit narrower than that because I need to have a little bit of extra space so that I can tuck those chocolates in there. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to decide which pattern I want face up. I think I want this one, and then I'm gonna fold it over so that one is showing at the top. Okay, so I'm just gonna slide that in the cello bag. Like that. I'm going to fold this top flap over and use my bone folder to make it crisp. And then I'm going to take my nuggets. So these are Hershey's nuggets. Now, they are not the easiest to find in Canada. Hey Beth, nice to have you join us. I picked them up when I was in the States at Target. So there's Hershey's, they're called Hershey's nuggets, and they come in a bunch of different flavors. Now, it's been years since I've actually looked for them in Canada. I know when I've used them in the past, I've found them at Shoppers Drug Mart. I don't know if Shoppers Drug Mart still carries them. I should have actually looked before the Facebook Live. The other place you can try is Bulk Barn. Donna, if you're here, do you know, have you looked for them recently? Do you know if where you can find them? Well, we'll wait and see if she answers, because I know that she's a big candy person as well. So then I've gone ahead, we'll wait see if she responds. Hi Kim, thanks for joining us. Okay, so now what I've done is I've cut 3 little strips, of DSP. They measure 1 inch by 3 inches, and I'm going to just decorate. Now you could tuck these in just like that, but why not make them pretty, right? Because we can. So I'm going to add just a little bit of fast fuse to both ends. Stick that on here. Who else misses Target? We happened to be in the States when we were in Phoenix. We were there after Veterans Day, so they were starting to put out all of their holiday candy. Oh my gosh, you should have seen the variety. We don't have stuff like that here. We don't get that kind of variety. I so miss Target. I could have probably bought a whole suitcase home of just candy. And not because I eat it, just because I like to decorate it and give it away as little treats. Thanks for sharing, Beth. Okay, so now we've got our little nuggets. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pop the bag, so just like that. So it's giving it a bit of give. And I'm gonna slide these in. I'm gonna alternate. I didn't have enough paper to do 3 in the same pattern, so we're gonna do alternating patterns. And then I'll fold that over, and I'm going to use a stapler to staple it closed. Okay, I mean, that looks pretty just like that, but of course we gotta cover the staple. So I've gone ahead and pre-cut a starburst shape from Tranquil Tide, and I've got a 2-inch from Vellum, and I'm going to stick these two down, or stick these two together, sorry, like so. And like I said, the starburst and the 2-inch circle punch, I swear, are my favorite and most used punches. Don't worry that you can see the adhesive, because that's all going to be covered over. Hey, Mary Liz. Okay, and then I've got a piece of our, what is this called? Polka dot tulle ribbon in white, and I'm going to put this across like this. I might trim that a little bit in a bit. Put this straight across like that. Yeah, that might be a bit too long, but I'll fix that in a minute. And then I've got a piece of the Tranquil Tide, I don't know if it's called velvet ribbon. I think that's what it's called. It is also in this collection of products, and I believe it is retiring as well. I'm almost positive it is. And we have some rich razzleberry that is, I believe that ribbon from the annual catalog is on sale right now for the year-end clear out. Okay, so I'm gonna layer that on top of that, and yes, I am gonna trim this so it doesn't stick out quite so far. Okay. And then I've gone ahead and pre-cut a leaf from Vellum. This leaf is from the coordinating framelit set, so it's this leaf here. And you'll see on my sample, I used the leaf punch on this one. I am going to attempt to do this one and see what it looks like. I'm not gonna stick it down just yet. Okay, and then I've got a scrap of white, and I am using the Christmas greeting from this stamp set. And I've pulled out soft suede, but I don't think I want to use soft suede. I think I'm going to use I think I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. Hi, Anna. We're making some little treats today. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this. And I think I'm going to need a bigger, wider strip. I don't know if my punch is going to fit in here. So now I've got the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. Oh, look at that, fits perfectly. Okay, punch that out. Let's close this up so I don't get ink on myself. Okay, and then this guy's going to get popped up with dimensionals. And I'm going to use a dimensional on the top and the bottom so that it goes over that ribbon nicely. And this is just going to go in the center so that I get that vellum strip or that vellum in behind. Vellum just looks so nice. I love vellum. Just makes everything look soft and pretty. Okay, so I think this is a little bit big. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this. And then tuck it underneath. Okay, so let's add a mini glue dot to this. So what's everybody got planned for this weekend? Anybody have any Christmas parties since the season is here? So just tuck that under there. Oh, I like that. And then this is going to get stuck onto our little treat pouch. So like that. Oop. And I'm going to add lots of adhesive because I want to make sure it sticks. Center that like that. Barb says last minute crafting. Well, that's good. That's always fun when you have time to craft. And then I'm going to add a bow that I tied using this, I believe it's petal pink and silver baker's twine. So it's got that silver mixed in. So it's silver, petal pink, and white all mixed together. Michelle, hey Michelle. She says decorating my mother-in-law's tree and going to a family Christmas party, fun. Mary Liz says Christmas movies and crafting all day Saturday. Might do some pampering too, not sure. And Beth says going to a granddaughter's Christmas program at her church, fun. I miss those days. My kids are past Christmas concerts. They were always fun. Okay, so I'm gonna use a mini glue dot to stick this on. And just pop that on the corner there. And look at that, you've got this cute little craft that you could give to, if you're a teacher, you could give this to your kids in your class. You could give this to coworkers. And like I said, oh, here, Christine says a couple Christmas concerts with military bands. Oh, those are always fun. So I will see if I can find these, and if I can, I will post in the comments on the Facebook Live so that you know where you can get them if you're Canadian. The other thing that you can do is Costco has those lint, they're a little bit flatter, but you can do the same thing. You'll be able to fit a few more in here. So that could be another option as well. You can also leave it a little longer and put peppermint sticks in here. I'll show you one that I did for gifts for online orders last month. Online orders got a set of 2 of our journaling pens. So I just left the paper or the bag as long as it is, and I cut the strip longer and tucked it in. So that's another way that you can do it. Basically anything that you can fit into a 2x8 bag. You can add chapstick in here and it'd be a cute little stocking stuffer. If you had a flatter, smaller bottle of nail polish, you could probably fit it in there. So there's lots of options. As long as it fits in the bag, then it would work. Okay, so that's the first project. And then the second project, for those of you who've joined us, it's Swiss chocolate, not Lindt. Thanks, Michelle. Barb asked if the stamp set was carrying over. Yes, the stamp set and the framelit set are both carrying over, just not as a bundle. You won't be able to get bundle pricing come January 3rd. Okay? So this is the next project that we're going to make, and I realized I forgot to grab a pillow box, so I'm going to do that right away. Okay, so these pillow boxes are in the annual catalog, and they come in sets of 10, and I mean seriously, you can't get any easier than this. They're all pre-done for you, and they look pretty even just as is. You don't even need to decorate them. It's quick and easy. So basically you just separate the 2 pieces, pop it like that, pop these down. This is always the second one that goes down so that you can easily open it. You don't even need any adhesive. And then do the other side. So it's scored, so it just naturally goes down on that curve. There we go. So, I mean, isn't that pretty with just the polka dots like that? You could leave it like that, even just wrap a ribbon around it and add a tag. But of course, we're gonna make it prettier than that. Okay, so now I have a strip of this gorgeous DSP. Anna says, can these be made from scratch? Well, we used to carry a pillow box die years ago. You may be able to find a pattern online to make from scratch. The only thing is, I think it would be hard to figure out this curve line, but if you searched YouTube for pillow boxes, you might be able to find a pattern to make them online. So you can give that a shot, Anna, and see if you can find something. I just think it would be hard to get this curved line, but maybe there's something that I'm just not thinking of that would make it easy. So it's very possible. Okay, so I've got a strip of 1 1/4 by, don't remember how long, let me check here. 8 inches, I think. Yeah, 1 1/4 by 8 of the DSP, and then 1 3/8 by 8 of Blackberry Bliss. And I'm just going to stick this one on top of this one. So this is the back. I'm gonna do this one because I don't want it to be Christmas or wintry. I want it just to be used for anything. And then I'm just gonna line it up in the center, but right with the bottom, so you just get that little bit of Blackberry Bliss peeking out. Okay, like that. And I've got my assembled box, and I'm going to add adhesive on the back, and I'm gonna add quite a bit. And then I always put it, I think about my project and I think about where the accent is gonna go. And then I will have my seam underneath my accent. So my accent is gonna go right in the front, the center of the front of the box. So I am going to stick this center side to side, or center-ish. It's always hard to tell, just eyeball it. Oh, that's where it's going. And then stick it down, but then what I'm gonna do is, and I've got it right on an adhesive seam there, just gonna use my bone folder. That will make it easier to go over this corner. And because these dots are there, it's easy to line up so it's straight. And then a little bit more, and this is a bit too long, so I'm going to trim it. We'll trim it right about here. So you can probably cut your strip, instead of the 8 inches that I did, probably about 7 inches, and that you wouldn't have to trim it down. Oh, Barb says she forgot to buy more Fast Fuse last order. Yes, you know, it's still on the clearance rack, and I will just keep buying it while it's available, because it seriously is my favorite adhesive. This feels a little tight here. Okay. Let's add a little bit more adhesive here. I'm finding there's a little bit of a buckle here, so I'm just going to try to loosen that. I'm just looking for my take your pick tool. Just give me a second here. There it is. Okay, so I am going to use this end. So let me explain why I'm doing this. Okay, can you see when I'm trying to put that down, you can see there's a little bit of a buckle, so it's just a little bit too tight there. So I'm going to see if I can loosen this. So I will get under the adhesive, hopefully. Can you tell I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist? Nobody would even notice that buckle because it would be under the greeting, but you know what? I'm gonna fix it anyways, because otherwise it will bother me. Let's leave this up. Okay, let's put this down first. And then this down. And now we've got no buckle. Okay, so if you get that, that's a little fix. Happy Friday to you too, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. Okay, next up, for this pretty little shape, that we're making, I've gone ahead and pre-cut that using the Big Shot. That's what it looks like. It is actually from the Stitched Labels framelit, so it's this one here. So many of these, if not all of them, actually all of them, have stitching around the edges. So you know my all-time favorite framelit set is the Stitched Shapes one, where it's got the circles, the ovals, and the squares that have the stitching around them. Well, this one is a similar set, except it's got different shapes, and you can see that it's got stitching around to give it a bit more detail as well. So I love it. And just to give you a heads up, in the Occasions catalog, there is a stitched rectangles framelit set, which is my definite right off the top must have. Everybody's gonna have to have that one. Seriously, I love those stitch shapes. I use them so much, so I was excited to see rectangles. And there's 13 different sizes in the set. So it's gonna be incredibly versatile. Okay, so now from the stamp set, I'm taking out the greeting that says, wishing you all the best, and I'm going to stamp it in Blackberry Bliss, kind of in the upper left corner. Hopefully my head is not in the way. Okay, so we've got that. I'm gonna leave my Blackberry out because I am going to stamp my flowers in Blackberry. So on the sample, I did them in Petal Pink, but I wanna do them in Blackberry and see what they look like on this. I wanted to switch up the colors a little bit. So I'm gonna take both sized flowers in here, in this set. And the key to this stamp set, like let me ink this and then I'll show you. This is what it's gonna look like when it's inked. The flower has so much detail and texture to it, you're not gonna get a consistent inking like you would on a solid stamp. You want that variegated look when you ink it and then also when you stamp it, so you get that detail showing. If your ink pad is too well inked, it'll just look like a blob and you won't get that nice detail to it. See, this is what this one looks like when it's inked. And you'll notice that I'm not pushing too hard, but I am giving it like a few seconds to sit there so that the ink can soak in. So that's what they will look like when they're well stamped and inked. So I'm gonna close that up. I'm gonna bring in my Big Shot so that I can cut these out. Clear a space to put it. Grab my framelits. My gosh, if you could see my space, it's a mess. I had a class last night and I didn't get a chance to clean up, and I've got so many projects on the go. I have to make some homemade caramel this afternoon because Marcel wants to give little treats to everybody who comes tomorrow night. So I gotta make homemade caramel, put it in the jars and decorate it. I've got a busy day ahead. And I don't think cleaning my stamp room is going to happen until maybe Sunday afternoon. Okay, so I've got the coordinating framelits on there. I'm gonna feed that through. Okay, so we've got our flowers. Okay, let's bring our tag back in. So now what I want to do is, before I stick my flowers on, I'm going to grab a scrap because I'm going to do some more stamping. I've chosen this image here that I'm going to stamp with mint macaron in the background. Where is the image? Oh, here it is. Just like that. And then I've gone ahead and die cut some shapes. So I've done, again, that same leaf in vellum and the little sprig in Tranquil Tide. So I am going to trim this little sprig off because I want 2. So rather than cutting 2, and I'm going to cut the end off. So there I've got my 2 little pieces. And again, for this one, just like I did last time, I'm going to trim it into 2. So there's my first piece. Let's move this white out of the way so you guys can see. And then this piece here, I want this to be usable, so I don't want to see this little nubby thing that I just trimmed off. So I'm going to just trim that like that. And it looks kind of funny like that, but once you get it tucked underneath something, it will look just fine. Okay, so I'm going to layer these 2. I'm going to put a little bit of fast fuse on the small one and stick it to the bigger one. So that is going to go right about there, but I want to figure the positioning out for all of my little pieces that are going to get tucked behind. So I'm going to put another strip of adhesive behind, and then I'm going to play around with the positioning. Now I want the sprig to be on top of the vellum. So let's try that. And I want the big sprig to be on this side. And you may need to add more adhesive depending on where you're putting everything. So we'll do that. And then again, the sprig on top. Let's see how this is going to sit. So right about there. And I've got that upside down. And then we'll put this guy in behind here. And then we're going to pop that up on there. But first, let's attach this to the pillow box. So now you can do it so that it wraps around like this, but I like it when it's popped up just so it's not attached on the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is put a strip down the middle and then just a couple strips on either side, but pretty close together. Center it, stick it down. You can also do it across this way. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this guy. And figure out where we want to put him or it. And I think I like that. Okay. And then I'm going to use a few of these little frosted enamel embellishments that are also part of this suite. So they come in a package where you get 1 sheet of the clear ones and then 1 sheet of the frosted ones. So I'm going to use the frosted ones. I have 1 left over here from last night. And we'll stick 1 here, grab another one. I love using my paper piercing tool to position these because you can get right underneath to get the adhesive off, and then you can use it to figure out your placement as well. Okay. And then I had also done this. I'm not sure. So what do you guys think? Does it need, is it good like that? Or does it need the ribbon? Is it too much with the ribbon? I'm almost thinking it's too much with the ribbon. It's too busy. What do you guys think? There's a little bit of a delay on the computer here, so hoping somebody's still there watching. Wow, no ribbon, Mary Liz says. Too much, Barb says. Okay, so we will do without the ribbon. So there we go. So that's it with the blackberry, and there it is with the petal pink. I think this one, to me, screams a little bit more wedding, and this one is a little bit more everyday. I'm not sure. And then we have, that's just my opinion. And then we have these little guys as well. So we have the petal pink ribbon on this one, just white baker's twine on this one. Then the leaves are slightly different, and the greeting done in blackberry, and this one done in soft suede. So a couple of cute little treat holders for you this week. And remember that if you comment on here, if you share the post, then you get entered to win. I will flatten this down and send the 2 projects that we made today to one lucky winner that I will draw next week. Yeah, we have lots of people who say without the ribbon. I definitely agree. Oh, Anna asked, does the annual catalog have pillow boxes for purchase? Can't find any. Yes, they do. They are on page, let me look it up real quick. They are these exact pillow boxes. They come in a set of a package of 10, and they are on page 193. So it's this craft pillow box right here. Okay. All right, Christine says, thank you. These are really sweet. Thank you very much, Christine. And I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend and you get lots of opportunity to finish your Christmas prep so that you're not stressed as we leave to head towards the holidays. And I will see you next Friday. Take care.